Peyton, you were saying you went to Machine Gun Kelly's concert the other night. You're wearing his T-shirt right now.
Yep.
You're obsessed with him, right?
Yes.
Did you watch his documentary yet?
No, and
So you're
I need
not
to.
that obsessed with him.
It's a newfound obsession because when I went to the concert, I was not interested in anything about him. And then I saw him perform, and now I'm totally all in.
On Netflix, a documentary dropped on a guy named D.B. Cooper. Yeah, you guys know who D.B. Cooper is?
No.
Kind of.
I felt like I kind of known who D.B. Cooper is my whole life, but I didn't know his whole story. I knew he was the guy that jumped out of an airplane and had a bunch of money. I always thought he was someone who robbed the bank.
And he never like was seen again after he jumped
Never
out of the
caught
plane, right? So that I know.
So this documentary dropped yesterday, and I started watching it. Somehow I'm tying this into Machine Gun Kelly, and you're going to go, what?
Okay.
Do you know, Grant, how I'm tying this into Machine Gun Kelly?
Well, they mentioned Machine Gun Kelly in the D.B. Cooper documentary yesterday.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, like
Isn't it great?
The moment I got home, I was like,
Oh, me
D.B.
too.
Cooper, what's up? Dude, unbelievable.
You guys, this story is so fascinating. So the guy, I get goosebumps telling you, this guy, D.B. Cooper, he gets on a plane from Portland to Seattle. It's a 37-minute flight. This is 1971. He's wearing a black suit, a tie, and dark Ray-Bans.
Okay. Grant's told me about this guy before.
He gets on the plane, and everybody knows this story apparently. And there's bars that are open. There's everything. It's become like Bigfoot. He gets on this plane, and he gives the stewardess, not flight attendant, they're called stewardesses at the time. He gives the stewardess a note, and it says, "Sit down next to me. Sit down next to me. I have a bomb." Opens up the suitcase. He's got a bomb in the suitcase. Because back then, they said you just go into airplanes like you would into a supermarket. You just go into the airplane. And he says, "I need $200,000. I'm going to blow up the plane." They land in Seattle. They clear out the airplane, except for four people and him. They bring out a suitcase with $200,000. They let the plane take off. When the plane takes off, he tells the flight attendant, "Get up there with the pilots." He lowers the thing, and he jumps out of the airplane with the money, never to be seen again. Right? People go nuts for him. D.B. Cooper. When they look at the flight manifest, his name is Dan Cooper, but a stupid reporter screws up, and now it starts a trend, and everyone calls him D.B. Cooper. His name's Dan Cooper, but now everybody calls him D.B. Cooper. It's everything. It's a legend of D.B.
So
Cooper.
there is no B in his name?
There's no B in his name.
Okay.
A reporter starts telling the story, and she read it wrong, or he read it wrong, and it's D.B. Cooper. And now that's the legend of D.B. Cooper. So, anyway, did you finish it, Grant?
No, I think I've got one episode left.
I'm
yeah.
around the same. So, the FBI investigate. They go. They keep thinking they have the guy. They don't have the guy. Years go by. Then finally, one guy says it's him. I mean, it's such a fascinating story, and he becomes a hero because he didn't hurt anybody. Right? He didn't hurt anybody. He just did this thing, and he looked really cool. He jumped out of an airplane in this black suit with these sunglasses on, and there's a lot more to it. Somewhere in there, now, how does Machine Gun Kelly's name go? Because when they said they were bringing up famous gangsters.
Yeah, I can't remember how they brought it up, but I was making pizza rolls in the air fryer, and I heard Machine Gun Kelly, and I was like, Machine Gun Kelly's on this?
So Machine Gun Kelly, the musician, I am assuming has named himself after the famous gangster Machine Gun Kelly, which I did not know there was one.
Oh.
So back in the day, there was a famous gangster, Machine Gun Kelly, and they show he was in the movies. It was black and white movies, and they cut to these movies that have been made after D.B. Cooper and Machine Gun Kelly. And I was like, oh my God, Machine Gun Kelly. Like, wow. So it's like I kind of like felt like we don't really know your Machine Gun Kelly. Do you know what I mean?
Are you, man?
That was dizzying.
Like, how do you get to know that Machine Gun? Like, I want to know if that Machine Gun Kelly knows, like, did he just make up the name Machine Gun Kelly, or did he name himself after the gangster Machine Gun Kelly?
Isn't it funny, though, how what you were saying, people think he's like a rock star?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
they're just like, he's super cool. He stole 200, he asked for $200,000, which in today's money is like $1 million.
Right.
And so, but they just took the thing, they think he's a pilot.
Yeah.
Because he knew how low and how slow you could fly to make that jump. It's so fascinating.
But it's not like he retired on that, right? Like
It was $1 million in 1971.
Did he have
I guess
a
so.
parachute?
He made them bring out 4 parachutes because if they brought out 1 parachute, he knew they probably wouldn't work. So they brought out 4 parachutes, and I mean, it's just an amazing documentary.
The coolest part about the documentary is it's like a bunch of old guys behind chain link fence yelling at other old guys, being like, "Are you DB Cooper?"
Yeah.
And the people are like, "Leave me alone."
And then it's kind of like the Ted Bundy thing where they're showing all this old footage of the 70s where they think they have the real guy, and he looks just like the drawing. And they're like, "Are you DB Cooper?" And he goes, "I can't say if I am or I'm not." And then they go and they show this guy's whole history, and he was a pilot, and it's just amazing. And I don't know if they ever found the guy. Oh, and at one point somebody's at a party, and this guy goes, "I'm DB Cooper," and they're like, "Sure you are." And he goes, "You see that family over there? Tomorrow they're going to find a bunch of my money." And then it was in the news that family found $6,000 on the beach in Oregon.
Oh, whoa!
And it's like, and they
Creepy.
he let him find his money. I mean, dude, it's so fascinating.
He's got good marketing behind his legend.
So fascinating, this story. It's so fascinating.
So they
And
did find him, but they just didn't.
I don't
catch
know
him.
if they found him yet. I don't know. There's a guy that
But he
it's
revealed
him.
himself.
I don't know. I'm not that. So I'm not done with it yet. But it's first of all, it's really well done. The documentary, it's really well done, and it's fun to watch. Like I can tell when a documentary is really good or a show is really good is when my phone's in the kitchen and I don't go get it.
Oh,
when I'm watching TV, like I like to watch TV, and then you know how you watch TV and you get on your phone a little bit. Mm-hmm. I didn't do that. I just sat there and watched the documentary. And then it was like, oh, I better go feed my kids.
Oh yeah, they have to eat. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Responsibility.
Yeah. Then yesterday, I bought a new car like a month ago, I think, and I don't think I've washed it. And then a couple days ago, I parked somewhere. When I got back in my car, a bird pooped directly in my line of sight. You ever had that before?
Oh, sure.
Right there in my line of sight, right? And it was already dry. I put the windshield wipers on, but it didn't remove it. It was one of those where the windshield wipers go right over it. It doesn't touch it. It's perfectly dry.
How does this happen?
I know. I'm like, dang it. And then when I'm driving, I'm like, well, when I get out, I'll get a piece of paper and clean it. But I forget. And then I get back in the car and I go, dang it. I said I was going to but I'm already in the car, so I'm not going to get out of the car. So I'm driving for like 4 or 5 days. Kind of the same thing like when the check engine light goes on. I'm like, eventually it'll go off, right? That's how I think. So with the bird poop, I'm like, it's so frustrating. Every time I get in the car, I'm like, oh, this bird poop, I can't see, so I got to kind of move my head when I'm driving a little bit. And then guess what? Driving until it starts to rain. Mm-hmm. Got rid of the bird poop.
So nice.
It was like a metaphor for life, I felt. If you just hold out.
So cleansing.
Just hold out. Your problems in life will go away. I just feel like
Ignore the problem.
Ignore the problem.
It'll rain.
Nature will fix it. I just feel like that's life. Yeah.
About that.
I do.
But okay.
You gotta look at my back's been killing me since I hurt my hamstring playing the softball tournament, and then I think because of my hamstring I was limping, my back was killing me. I didn't go to the doctor. I haven't gotten medical attention. I've been doing all kinds of other stuff. Eventually, right, I feel like it's getting better. I feel 100% better than I did yesterday.